I took a fancy to the newly recruited intern college students in my sister's company, so I wrapped her up with a high price of 20,000 yuan a month and did whatever I wanted with her every day. Life was simply 2 words and comfortable. But I didn't expect that half a year later I went to Jane Jiang Company for an internship, but I saw my elder sister respectful to her and bowed. Then she turned her head and asked me, my gold master, "Have you started to work and support me?" Jane Jiang live, my father must let me send him chicken soup. I pushed open the door and went in. I bumped into the soft spring scenery. When I looked closer, a handsome and confusing face magnified in front of my eyes. Changjia looked at me coldly with amber deep eyes. "Okay." I was stunned, my heart beating a little fast. "Who are you looking?" His voice was low and cold. I reacted and took an embarrassed step back. Sorry, I may have entered the wrong room. So I hurriedly withdrew, looked at the ward number, and called my sister. "Sister, have you changed wards?" "No, it's still V008. "Then why aren't you here?" "Your brother-in-law dragged me down for exercise. My good father asked me to send you soup. You can put it down and go home. I won't come up for a while. By the way, who is that woman in the room?" "In the ward? I think it was Shun Yue. I asked her to send the documents." "What's wrong?" "She is the newly recruited assistant of Shun Ye's Jane Jiang. She has just graduated from university. Her parents died young since she was a child. She and her grandfather depended on each other and finished college on poverty subsidies. Hearing Jane Jiang say that her grandfather was seriously ill and needed money urgently, she begged her Jane Jiang to reduce her salary and advance a year's salary to pay for the operation. "Jane Jiang is too much. How can you do this to a beautiful woman? How can you really give her a pay cut? With a year's salary in advance, she must be having a hard time now." The collar of her half shirt and the looming spring light, I swallowed my saliva, plucked up the courage to walk over, and pushed open the door again. I don't know why, her skirt looks very expensive, and indeed it looks expensive for every woman to wear anything. "What's the matter?" She patted her dress and seemed ready to go. I hurriedly locked the door and put down what was stuck on my hand. "I have something to do with you. I feel my heart is almost popping out. Are you short of money?" "What?" She looked surprised and stopped her movements. "Are you Shin Yue? If you are short of money, I can help you." She seemed to chuckle and looked at me as if I had said nothing. I suddenly dare not look at her. If I turn my head and pretend to look at the wall, I know your financial situation. I can help you and make your life worry-free. If your grandfather still needs money, I can also bear it. I felt that I was already a little delirious and began to talk nonsense. I saw him from the corner of my corner, as if he were stunned. Maybe he didn't expect me to tell him this. After a long silence, he didn't respond. I simply stared into his eyes and continued to say that I was serious. Although I am still a sophomore, my mother gives me many students every month, and I can give you 10,000. I saw his pupils slightly dilated and seemed incredible. Indeed, 10,000 yuan is really a lot, comparable to her salary. 10,000? She suddenly smiled. What does she mean? Is it too little? I also have no experience and do not understand the market. I calculated my usual basic expenses in my mind. At most, I 20,000 foot T have more. I can't afford to support more. The corners of her mouth were light, and she seemed very happy. Then she came towards me and hit me with great interest. It made me feel a little uncomfortable and involuntarily backed away. "Do you want to help me?" He pushed me against the wall, raised his eyebrows, and looked a little frivolous with a bewitched smile on his face. "But I like to treat me and want to help you." I clenched my fist. "So do you promise?" I swear I've never been so brave in my life. He just looked at me like that and didn't respond for half a day. Is it because I didn't give enough temptation? What if he's so paralyzed? Just when I was considering how to get my mother to increase my living expenses, she suddenly stretched out her right hand to me, raised my chin, and her eyes went out. "Does your sister know?" I suddenly understood what she meant. "Don't worry, I will keep this matter confidential to anyone. I know it will be a bit unbearable for you, but now there are many such things in this society. I will safeguard your dignity and will never let a third person know. He giggled after hearing this. Is he so happy? He asked me, have you ever been in love? I haven't talked about it. What's the matter? It has nothing to do with this matter. That is, I haven't talked about it. He scratched the tip of my nose with his finger. We were so close. What happened? Obviously, I am the gold master who wants to keep him. I panicked and wanted to escape, afraid of being seen through my heart by him. All right, I promise. Then you add me green bubbles first. I quickly took out my cell phone and turned on the QR code, for fear that he would go back on his word. In fact, I usually keep a low profile. I never think I am a rich second generation. I am a demolition second generation, which is different from those real rich second generation. The big house left by my 8-year-old ancestors was demolished, and then our family moved into the villa and became a nouveau riche among other people. Fortunately, my parents were able to live a life and did not squander it after getting rich overnight. Some investments have been made so that more than 10 years have passed. Our family is still in a relatively affluent situation. Shun Yue answered the phone and was ready to leave. Before going out, he came back and touched my head. Please, I am the gold master. How can I feel like being molested? It is simply against the sky. My face burned again. My parents used to be strict, but I have never been in love. Now I understand where they are strict, but I haven't met anyone who can make me move. After Shun Yue left, I realized in hindsight that I had really done a wonderful thing. I wanted to give myself some praise, but I couldn't help it. With his family experience, my parents would never agree to our relationship. I was about to go home when I got out of the hospital. As a result, it suddenly began to rain. The Jane Jiang called. It was raining. Have you left? At the gate of the hospital, the luggage is waiting for me there, and let the driver take you back. After a while, a black Porsche stopped in front of me. He rolled down the window and motioned me to get in the car. I stopped where I did not move. There was no one who drove the door for the gold owner. He seemed to understand what I meant, but there was no movement. I quickly opened the door and got on the bus, for fear that he would drive away directly. Obviously, it was the little white flower I kept. I didn't have any ideological consciousness at all, but my sister went too far and even used him as a driver. He must have resentment in his heart. Anshin let him be my man. Let me spoil her in the future. The rain was not heavy, her car was driving smoothly, the atmosphere was a little awkward, and there was an inexplicable sense of oppression. Although we have confirmed the relationship, we still feel very strange. I didn't even dare to look at her open and above all, and I was in a panic. I depend lousy but out of the money, for the gold lord I unintelligent? Probably because of his poor family, he has developed an independent and strong character since he was a child, so he has not learned how to be soft. It doesn't matter, I will teach him slowly. Thinking of this, I immediately straightened my back, looked at her right hand on the block, licked her lips and touched it on impulse. Wow, my skin is so slippery. Growing up in such an environment, it is rare for the skin on my hands to be so good. He turned his head and looked at me, his mouth raised, and he didn't pull his hand back. Ah, this is the first time you have been kept. I haven't been in a relationship yet. If she has too much experience, it will definitely not work. It is indeed the first time, but it feels good. It must be. After all, I have to 20,000 her every month. She works in my sister's company, and her monthly salary is more than 10,000. If you earn more 20,000 at once, everyone will be moved. Since I have no experience of being a small white flower, let me slowly set him up. I silently took out my mobile phone and immediately transferred 20,000 to him. Hearing the sound of the news, he freed one hand to pick up the mobile phone and saw the information I transferred to him. He laughed again and laughed out loud. Is this the pleasure of using money to make girls happy? It's really cool to suddenly be able to understand those rich people who make small white flowers outside. By the way, how is your grandfather recovering? How much will it cost to follow up? How many do you have? What does that mean? Are you afraid I don't have enough money to afford it? Or how much the disease costs depends on how much I have. Oh, woman, you are a little greedy. When I was very young, my father opened an account for me. The lucky money I received every year, and the birthday red envelopes were saved for me. When I was in junior high school, my monthly pocket money was $5,000. High school rose to $10,000, and college rose to $30,000. I have been in school all the time, and my family gives me pocket money. I can't spend all the money every month. I also deposit the rest in my account. At present, there is about $1 million in my account, 500000. I answered him really well. He nodded his head. I think he has never seen so much money. Let me put it with you first. Let me know when I need it. Should I say thank you? This little white flower is really capable of spending people's money and is so justified. It deserves to be the person I like. The rain stopped soon and he drove to a restaurant. I haven't eaten yet. Accompany me to have a meal. I turned my head and saw a boy. This is a test of my financial resources. Fortunately, I have money. We entered the restaurant together. The waiter was extremely enthusiastic and very discerning. This is our new couple package. Okay, I'll take this one. Before he could respond, I said to the waiter with pride that I was happy. He didn't say anything and sat directly opposite me. I stood up, holding my chin in my hands, and began to appreciate the peerless face in front of me openly, and my heart felt dark. It only took 20,000 to get this level of small white flowers, and the more I look at them, the more I think they are worth it. Yes, I am a yen dog. After the meal, I offered to pay for it, which was probably the most expensive meal I had in recent years. When I left the restaurant, I took her hand. Spend me so much money to eat, how also have to recover some losses. He looked, Anthomaniac made me look helpless, but did not refuse. This is superpower. I like that I have something urgent to deal with. Why don't I take you home first and ask him if he is going to work overtime? Stunned, nodded, and my sister, the evil capitalist, knew that she exploited cheap labor and deserved it. It doesn't matter, I can go back by myself. I began to love him again, silently grasping the boundary in my heart and spitting out 100 times. Then I took out the house key from my bag and handed it to her. Take this. He picked his eyebrows. Why did he give me a real estate? This little white flower is really unusual. I want a real estate before I can get anything. You have to pay a lot of money to rent a house outside. This is my own house. There is everything in it. You can live directly. He took the key and smiled. So my gold owner, how often do you plan to come back? I will come back every Friday night. When you see what else needs to be bought, you can buy it, and I will reimburse you. By the way, my sister also has a house in that neighborhood. Be careful and don't be seen by her. She nodded and wanted to get on the bus. I grabbed his arm and he gently hugged me in his arms. The little white flower is quite conscious and she smells good. I lust for this embrace. At the thought of catching a plane to the city where I went to college early tomorrow morning, I was a little reluctant to give up and wanted to ask for leave with the counselor. I'll send you a message. You must reply in seconds to let me know what you are doing. I ordered him to frown and look at me helplessly. It's a little difficult, and she still has to work. My sister, who killed thousands of knives, will definitely arrange a lot of work for her. He is so poor. Then you can return to me when you are not busy. He smiled again. I reckon he agreed. Is it really okay for you to go home by yourself? There was a hint of worry in her tone. Her phone rang again. My sister must have urged you to do something. I can. When I got home, I was still floating. My father started to talk to me again, telling me never to fall in love in college. All right, I don't fall in love. I can always help Ziobiwa. I was secretly happy in my heart and sent her a message. Are you still busy? After a long time, he hasn't returned. Are you still working overtime? My little white flower is so hard. Back in school, life seems to be slower than before. Finally, I stayed up until Friday. I couldn't wait to pack my things and prepare to go to the airport to call a video to check the post. What are you going to do this weekend? Your sister has been discharged from the hospital. Will you come back? No, I have an appointment to go out with my classmates. I can't let her know about my sneaking back to Nanchang. I was a little guilty and found a reason to hang up quickly. I was really hard. When others went to college, my parents urged me to fall in love. My parents were afraid that I would be abducted by a little girl all day long. I lived for 20 years. I haven't even kissed the girl's mouth yet, and it's shameful to say it. Although our family is also doing business now, it is still in the nouveau riche circle. Compared with a real family, it is not a class at all. They just want me to marry Miss Fu, a rich family, and let our family step into the real rich circle. Laughing to death, dream about it. Just like me, which round will get me. Anyway, I have a canary. Let them try for fear of being seen by people they know. As soon as I got off the plane, I armed myself with a hat, mask, and sunglasses until I entered the house. She was already at home and cooking in the kitchen. I walked quickly into the kitchen and hugged him from behind without hesitation. God knows how much I miss him. His back froze, and then he looked back with a look of surprise in his eyes, which suits you very well. He looked at me from head to toe, then he bypassed me and walked out with the freshly prepared food. I followed him out and stood at the table a little awkward. Suddenly he hugged me, then picked up my chin, and suddenly 2 cold thin lips stuck to me. I froze shyly and flushed. Why didn't I take the kiss and laugh at me? My desire to win or lose suddenly surged up and never talked about it, but I've seen it. I reached out and hooked his neck and leaned up. I was too nervous just now. I didn't feel his lips so soft. I couldn't help sticking my tongue in. His tongue was also sweet. My mind seemed to be electrocuted. In this way, we kissed for a long time, and my whole heart seemed to go against his breathing forest. Finally, I gently bit the corner of his mouth, and he hissed as if he had been bitten by me. I was satisfied and smiled proudly at him. He pointed his finger at my forehead. Little guy, are you a dog? Who's the little guy? Don't call me that. What's that called? Do you need me to call you master? It's not impossible. His mood seemed to be stirred up by me, and he helped me up again. What are you doing? He said to get down to business. I haven't showered yet. I shivered, trying to break away from him. My legs are a little weak again. I still dare not if he wants to be serious. He said it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect. My face turned red immediately, and my ears were dyed red. What I just made is cold. I wanted to take you out to eat. I played with the back. Since you wanna, why not us? No, I'm hungry, go eat. I jerked off him and headed for the door. My canary is a bit naughty and difficult to set up. It was already dark outside, and I clasped his fingers like a couple. He asked me what I wanted to eat, which puzzled me. It's a restaurant. He doesn't have much money. If I feel uncomfortable spending money, go to the night market. It can be cheaper. Sure, I nodded. He picked his eyebrows lightly and smiled at the corners of his mouth. Are you moved? Do you think I am considerate? Little canary, hold. After getting in the car, he came around to fasten my seat belt, which was full of male hormones. I didn't resist, grabbed his collar and pecked his nose. He smiled and pecked back at my mouth. My little white flower is getting on the road, and I am getting deeper and deeper, for fear that the throb will come up again. I gently pushed it away. This is my sister's new car, or the last Porsche. I forgot to ask you before that you can drive this car at any time. It should be possible. She started the car skillfully. My sister is quite generous and not completely heartless. The newly bought Porsche is also casually driven by her subordinates. She wants to know that his subordinates can't drive her car to take her brother on a date. She must not let him know that the driving recorder is off. He smiled helplessly and was so afraid that your sister would know. Isn't that for you? Then I thank you, you're welcome, you should. He said that you are quite interesting. Why do you always feel suppressed? Clearly I am the gold owner. He took me to a more remote restaurant. Why not go to the night market? You're not afraid of being seen? He asked me, of course I am afraid, or don't take risks. You're right, or you're thoughtful. There are many people in the restaurant, mainly selling all kinds of noodles. When you came, the boss greeted you warmly. He seemed to know the boss very well. Maybe he had worked here before. This is a friend of his. I also smiled politely at the boss. I didn't think this noodle shop looked ugly, but tasted excellent. After we were full, we walked hand in hand on the road. This side was far away from my house. I was not worried about being seen at all. He asked if he was happy today. With my little white flower, is this asking my satisfaction? It's a so. At this moment, I saw an ice cream seller in front of me. There were still many people in the evening. They went to buy me ice cream. I gave a pair of orders, and then I sat down at a small table by the way. He looked at the long line, glared at me, and passed. In the process of waiting, I brushed my cell phone. Can beautiful women add a green bubble? As soon as I turned my head, I saw a few handsome guys surrounding him. I can't. His voice is cold. Add one. My boyfriend will be jealous. He didn't lift his head either. He pointed to me sitting on one side. Well, he was quite conscious and I was very satisfied. Several handsome boys followed his fingers. I straightened my back and put on a cold expression on my face. Fortunately, Lousy dressed up well today. After a while, he came with ice cream and did a good job. He will do this in the future. I licked my ice cream and boasted to him. Also, no matter whether I am here or not in the future, if someone asks you for green bubbles, you are not allowed to add them. That's not necessarily. Why did you forget who I am? I glared at him. Maybe someone gave more than you. Boy, I still think I gave less, right? No, it seems that we have to sign an agreement and stamp it. When I got home, it was almost 0 o'clock. I hadn't slept so late at ordinary times, but I was still not excited at the moment. When I came out of the bath, I found that the light had been turned off and felt the darkness. I turned on the corner first, only to find that he was facing me with his back and his breathing was quite even. He fell asleep unexpectedly. In front of such a handsome, beautiful young man as me, he just fell asleep and meowed. Is it not possible? I sat up, turned over and put my mouth close to her ear, and took a breath. Unintentionally, my lips touched her earlobe, and a trace of coolness came from me. I wiped my whole body like an electric shock. Seeing that he still didn't respond, I suddenly became bold, reached out my hand and slowly touched her abdomen. Before she met me, she suddenly grabbed my hand and turned over and pressed me under her body. My heart beat fast, my chi and blood surged, and I felt like I was going to have a nosebleed. Heavy breathing hit me on the face, getting closer and closer to me. I closed my eyes shyly and expectant. However, he kissed me on the forehead. You go to sleep first, and I'll make a phone call. After that, he got up in the dark and hit his head when he went out. All right, my little white flower is not ready yet. It doesn't matter. I can wait until I wake up in the middle of the night and find myself on his arm. He hugged me from behind and felt this ambiguous posture. I blushed again. I secretly rubbed his spring scenery with my elbow, but I was caught. Can you stop moving? Are you still awake? I felt a sense of embarrassment when I was caught. I couldn't help it. The little white flower was so attractive that the night covered my sense of shame. I boldly got up, turned around and put my hand into her clothes. How can I sleep like you? She grabbed my hand and stopped my movements, so I went to sleep next door. Her voice is low and forbearing, sexy and charming. You have forgotten who I am again. Your task is to please me. I'm not convinced. Are you sure? I am very sure that my mother taught me what I like from an early age, and I must find ways to get it. My first time. So like a person, of course I want to get him. I didn't answer him, but climbed up his neck and kissed him. He finally stopped refusing, even deepened the kiss, and then it got out of hand until I started begging for mercy. Your little white flowers are not bad, but they are too good. 20,000 pieces of flowers are too valuable. In this way, she and I officially started a long-distance love life without shame. Every Friday, I sneaked back to Nanchung. As soon as he entered the door, he was entangled with him, and he would wait for me there every time. We will be like a real couple, nest together on the sofa watching movies, see each other when the love is strong. Sometimes we cook together. Although it is not very delicious, I praise him every time and give him full emotional value. Xiao Jiao is at least spoiled, and she has a good eye for picking clothes. Sometimes when I do my homework, he can also analyze 1 or 2 things for me, feeling very MB. It's just that being an assistant in my Jane Jiang company is a bit of a yielding. My sister is really lucky to get such a big bargain, but I am more lucky than her. Haha, why don't I think of some way to get my sister to give you a raise in salary? Why don't you let your sister know if she knows about it? I don't know what you are afraid of, or what I am afraid of. I can't tell my sister that I have kept your assistant. If only she wasn't a poor girl. Then again, if she is not poor enough, how can she promise to be kept by me? The person I like sits on the sofa and I nest in his arms. Such a beautiful day. Why do I have to marry the rich second generation? Forget it, enjoy the day. After doing some psychological activities, I pasted it on her again. She also put down her cell phone, touched her lips and wrapped her nose. Everything outside has nothing to do with us at the moment. On Sunday afternoon, I was reluctant to leave. In order to avoid being discovered by my sister, I did not dare to let him take me to the airport. There is a girl looking for you downstairs. The boys' dormitory downstairs, dressed in a black dress, she leaned against the luxury car and waved to me. I am so beautiful. She is still a rich second generation. Bien Chong, you ate too well. My roommate followed me down and saw that he was more excited than me. I was light on the surface and was already carried away. At that time, I spent money. I deliberately walked towards him slowly, feeling the envy in the eyes of passers-dash. What are you doing here? On a business trip? I said. How could it be that my sister came to see me? I looked around warily, but without me putting down my heart, I hugged her neck recklessly and gnawed at her directly. I haven't eaten meat for several days, and my heart is a little itchy. I found a reason to ask the counselor for a vacation, and I went with him blatantly. In this city, I can finally show my confidence and boldness. Ha ha ha, happy. We stayed together all day, going to many things we couldn't do before: shopping, eating, watching movies, going to the amusement park, singing K, finally going to the hotel, and then having a good night. I feel that I am beginning to bubble happily, expecting him to come here often on business. In the morning I woke up in his arms again. The sun stabbed me hard to open my eyes. Didn't you close the curtains last night? I still asked in a daze, suddenly floating in my mind. As soon as I entered the door last night, I couldn't wait to take a place on him. Then he had to drag me to take a bath first. I had to wash with her. Then my face turned red, and I seemed to be getting more and more dissolute. No way, Taijo, where he mainly serves small white flowers, is still unfulfilled. At this moment, suddenly my dad called in a video. I sat up unconsciously. In the morning, why did he suddenly check the post? When I was at a loss, he snatched the phone and turned it directly to mute. My dad's video calls were one after another. Seeing that I didn't answer, I was bombarded by phone again, and I felt faintly uneasy. I shouldn't be looking for my dad at this time. What's the matter? I'll send him a message when class is about to begin. Okay, call me back immediately after class is over. My dad will reply in seconds. He looked at me in a panic and laughed. It's boundless. Please explain to me why there are women's things in your house. In the video, couples' slippers, couples' mouthwash cups, couples' toothbrushes, couples' pajamas, and so on are randomly placed on the tea table. After that, I forgot that my father also had the key to the house. I'm not good at lying, and my head is running fast at the moment. At first, it was made up by my roommate Xianli. Just then Xianli opened the door and came in. He looked at me in surprise. Xianli talked about a girlfriend and did not dare to let his family know, so I rented the house to him. Are you short of that money? My father was speechless for a while. Anyway, it was empty. I continued to make things up without blinking my eyelids, but I remember none of your roommates are from Nanchang, and his girlfriend is from Nanchang. Okay, I got it. My dad looked like he believed me. I was slightly relieved. You didn't talk about your girlfriend, did you? He asked again. You must not learn from your roommate, otherwise I will not spare you. At last he asked me to take the house back because my little aunt was coming back from abroad and didn't want to live in the villa, so she wanted to stay in my house for a few days. Only the decoration of my house is most in his eyes. I only feel that my sky is falling, my little white flower. You have been stolen. I picked up my cell phone, opened the dialogue box with him, and immediately transferred his 100,000 to rent a new house. My dad has been to our house. No, I have a place to live. This time she returned the news quite quickly. Where is it? I can't take you there later. I order you to find a house again and send me the address. He didn't reply to me. I was a little upset. Maybe I was busy, After all, he was here on business. After staying up for 2 days, it was finally the weekend. I couldn't wait to get back to my house. She was not here and her things were gone. I panicked. She sent me a message 2 days ago on my cell phone. I was hesitating whether to go to my sister's company to find him. The door was opened by her. I rushed over and hugged her. Why didn't I return the message? Why was my gold owner afraid I would run away? He wiped my tears and held me in his arms. I was amused by her. She took me and set away. I asked him where he was going, but he said that the new house was very well decorated and was my favorite tune. All daily necessities are also available. How much did it cost to rent it? The 100,000 yuan I transferred to him has been automatically returned and will be reimbursed to me. Of course, after all, I am the golden master. How can I let the canary pay for the rent? I'll let you find the one you need first. At this point, he moved his hand through my clothes and pressed towards me, blocking my mouth that I wanted to refuse. I was stirred up in an instant, and I couldn't care about anything else. The little white flower that loves me is becoming more and more difficult to control. What can I do? I was not used to it. Soon it was winter vacation, and I had to go home for half a month. I never found a reason to see him. However, he seems to be busy during this period of time, and the news is very slow. I really want to go to Jane Jiang Company to secretly meet his father. I want to go to Jane Jiang Company to see what you are doing. I just want to see the place where Jane Jiang work. My father looked over suspiciously. Anyway, I will also take part in the work in the future. I just went to Jane Jiang Company to find out. There is no need to wait for you to marry a big lady later. There is no need to work at all. Your mother and I are going to take part in an activity in a few days. What kind of activity do you and we go together? Can I not go? I whispered, just taking this opportunity to sneak out. You must go. My mother came down from the stairs with a serious expression. This is a jewelry party hosted by Lu's group. I heard that Lu's lady will also be there, and there will be many celebrities and dignities participating. This is a rare opportunity. You happen to meet some young talents. How handsome young talents can be, no one can compare with my little white flower. Thinking of my little white flower, I protested again that I would not go to the side. Your mother and I worked hard most of our lives to find you a good family. For your sake, you have made my hair white. Look at my father's dyed it again, and he also stretched his head over. It is really not easy for me to see his white hair. There are indeed two. All right, anyway, I'll just make a reply. I reluctantly nodded. My father sat back, and my mother sat over. The two began to discuss the arrangements for the day. They said that they must let me make a brilliant appearance and amaze the rich ladies. Let them dream, anyway, it's not that I'm too lazy to listen to them. They made an excuse to go back to their room to brush the play. What are you doing? It's good. Finally, I know that I have sent a message to explore the play. What about you? This is also the point at work. I must still be exploited by my sister. Then give me a selfie to haunt the spring scenery. I want to come out tonight, but I can't do it. Since the last incident, my father has taken me more closely. I have no freedom at all. When I was depressed, the other party sent a picture. Looking at the spring scenery that I had touched many times on my mobile phone, I couldn't wait to get into the screen. I was so distracted that I almost licked it at my cell phone. God, it's even worse. It's another lonely and unbearable day. No, I have to find a way to meet him. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I sneaked out in the dark. I was about to get on the bus when I was grabbed by someone. I was endless and sneaky. Why did I go? Elder sister, why did you come home in the middle of the night? I was startled. You really fell in love. My sister grabbed my arm and sneaked out so late. Is it to see him? I didn't. I subconsciously tried to quibble, and a group of panicked people were found. Then who is this woman? The photo of the mobile phone shows a very fashionable boy. On the right back of him, I was holding the girl's ear sideways and smiling brightly. I was relieved that I didn't see her face. It turns out that one of my elder sister's college classmates works in the media. Some time ago, she was shooting a street shooting theme. She meant to shoot the boy, but she accidentally let us into the mirror. My elder sister Wu Xinhua is 6 years older than me. In her eyes, I am a simple and unthinking brother. My elder sister did not know that her simple and unthinking younger brother had already swollen his face outside and had kept the little white flower for several months. She was worried that I had been cheated by bad women, so she couldn't wait to question me as soon as the party was over. Who knows, to see me sneak out again even more? It was furious, and now I was forced to tell him who the woman was. Can I say it? I can't say if I was killed, otherwise my little white flower would definitely be skinned. The more I look at this woman, the more familiar I feel. My heart thumped. She is my sister's assistant. She can't see her every day. Even if she only looks at her back, she must be easy to recognize. You certainly don't know her sister. I hastened to explain. Forget it. You are also old, have their own ideas. If he bully you, you must tell my sister side. But the side is long, boys still need to be a little reserved. Please, you are being bullied in the middle of the night. Keep it a secret for me. My hands are folded. My sister is the only one in the family who supports my free love, because he and my brother-in-law are together because of love, which makes me a crush of my parents. He said it is not easy to find someone who resonates with his soul. I really want to tell him, I have found it. Not only does the soul resonate, but the body also resonates. Although it is still only the custody relationship and my sister reached a consensus, she promised to keep it confidential for me, but the condition is to meet first and judge for me. I said in my heart that you meet every day. I pretended to promise him that I would like to stay up until the beginning of school. The plan to sneak out tonight is completely ruined. Another day when I can't see the canary. I really think he will arrive soon. On the day of the party, I stayed up late reading novels and slept until the afternoon. Are you busy? I send him a message. What do I do after work at night? To work overtime, you and I will stay at home. Subconsciously I began to lie. Although I am keeping her, I just can't stand it in front of her. Even the blind date party I went out to, I still felt a little guilty. As soon as I got downstairs, my father patted me and came out with a bunch of stylists. After try for more than 2 hours, my father was finally satisfied. There were many people in the venue, and of course there were many handsome boys. In fact, my father tried his best, and I didn't shine much. I said it would be in vain. Bian Chong is the eldest daughter of Chen's group. She is 28 years old this year. She also looks pure. There is a lot of peach news in the world. This one is away from her. This is the youngest daughter of Xingda group, but it is useless. I heard that she is an illegitimate daughter. She has no right to speak in the family and does not need to consider it. Look at that, Li Xia, the daughter of the chairman of a household who has been very popular recently, has just returned from abroad. I heard that she is still studying and the conditions are good. She should have a common topic with you. She will meet you when she has the chance. I don't know why others are here. My father is serious about picking his daughter-in-law. He only discusses his appearance. No one can compare with my little white flower. To say that I am most satisfied with it is Lu Ruyan, the only daughter of today's organizer Lu Group. She is already less sensible at a young age. Regardless of appearance, family and character, they are the best. I heard that I lost it when I was a child, and it took me a lot of years to find it back. And your sister's company recently has a project related to Lu's. Alas, Lu's lintel is too high and the difficulty is a bit high. And now I just want to go home. I was absent-minded to deal with it twice. I didn't want to listen anymore. I made an excuse to go to the bathroom. I didn't expect to be touched at the corner. Sorry, he subconsciously said hook English. I smiled politely and said it didn't matter. As a result, he stopped me in Chinese again. Hello, can I ask you a question? I'll go. I've been accosted. Sorry, it's not convenient for me to say. I turned my head and left. Although he looks good, I already have a little white flower. Sitting on the toilet and taking out my cell phone. Are you sure you didn't go out at home? He sent a message on the green bubble. I felt guilty and felt inexplicably caught cheating. Could he be there? It's impossible. How could he appear on such an occasion? I must have scared myself. My father urged me to go out, saying that the ceremony was about to begin. Let me hurry over. I walked over and felt uneasy. Dad, will my sister come too? Of course, it's such an important occasion, but she may be a little late. I have to call her quickly to urge her. You sit and don't run away. If my elder sister really wants to come, then he said that working overtime would not be to follow my elder sister here. If she wants to see me, wouldn't she know that I lied to him when I came out? I have a stomachache. Let's go out for a while. Before my father could react, I stood up and walked outside. What happened to you? The party will begin soon. If you come back, I will sneak away, for fear that my sister will bring him here. It is too difficult for him to see me. I must be in a mess. Today's organizer, Miss Lu Ruyan, chairman of Lu's group, also spoke, and the voice of the host came from behind. Fortunately, I didn't meet me. I quickly stopped a taxi. I felt at peace immediately after getting in the car. I took out my cell phone and gave him a message back. Yes, why do you still want to check my post? He didn't come back either. It is estimated that he has already arrived at the meeting and is busy. Fortunately, I ran fast. It was almost 12 o'clock before my parents came back. I almost fell asleep. My dad opened my room angrily as soon as he entered the door. It was boundless. What's the matter with you? My dad snapped on the light in my room and came over to tear away the quilt I covered over my head. Does my stomach hurt? I whispered guiltily. It doesn't hurt early or late. You dropped the chain at the critical moment. You did it on purpose. You let your parents down too much. Originally, your sister went to say hello to Miss Yun and wanted her to take her father. Did my sister go? What's wrong? Who did she go? Of course it's your brother-in-law. Who else could it be? Why is your sister outside? My father suddenly became louder and attracted my mother. No, I didn't mean that. Who else could he take? Hurry up and say what did you see or know? What kind of brain circuit is this? I took it. I collapsed and went back to bed. I didn't wait for his message all night. I was tired enough. Seeing my listlessness, my mother came over and pulled my father out, and then said to me, I think you have been holding back at home recently. You can get up tomorrow and find some work at your Jane Zhang's place. Is this a blessing in cloud? The mood immediately improved, my little white flower. See you tomorrow. Early in the morning the next day, I got up, dressed up well, and went to my sister's company. I haven't seen each other for more than 20 days. I must find a chance to hold him for a few bites. Just thinking like this, I went directly into my sister's office. He was not in my sister's office. Sister, where is your assistant? I asked, why are you here? Mom asked me to work. What do you think I'm capable? My elder sister looked me up and down. Party will come later. You go to the conference room to prepare some tea. And I walked out of the office and looked around, still didn't see her shadow. Where the hell did he go? I sighed and walked into the conference room. A girl saw me inside. She blushed a little and said hello to me. Hello, are you new here? My name is Shun Yueyue, and the assistant to the general manager. What? Are you Shun Yueyue? Do you know me? Are you sure you are Shun Yueyue? She nodded in a daze. My whole body is numb. Mr. Lu, this way please. At this moment, my sister's voice came from outside. Then she pushed open the door and was stunned. What are you doing? Stand aside. My elder sister saw me standing in the middle of the road and didn't respond. She pulled me aside and quietly lectured me. She also worked. She didn't have good eyesight and was not my gold master. You went bankrupt and came out to work to support me. Everyone froze, and I was about to collapse. I raised my feet stiffly and prepared to run away. Let him pour me tea. She pointed at me and said to the Jane Jiang. My sister immediately grabbed me and pushed me to her side. The whole meeting was a blow after blow. All kinds of emotions crossed, and finally only humbled. She is the sister's party A. She is the young director of Lu Group, the capital that male stars in the entertainment circle are rushing to marry, and she is one of the best figures in Nancheng and even in the country. Not long ago, I was still in bed with her. The canary I thought I had become an unattainable figure. I even raised her with 20,000 yuan wallet. I felt a little ridiculous myself. I poured her down like a puppet and stood stiffly on one side. After a long time, the meeting was finally over. You go first. I have something to talk to this gentleman. So my sister led the others out quickly without stopping and closed the door. What's the matter? The little guy was angry. She looked at me and hugged my waist, you liar. I pushed him away with tears streaming down my eyes. He hugged me again and said wrongly, obviously you wanted to keep me, but I thought you were. Before I could finish my sentence, her hot lips pressed on. Regardless, this is my sister's company. If you change places, of course, it is my home specially prepared for you. She gently helped me dry my tears and took my hand to open the door before I refused. A group of people at the door broke up directly, and my sister looked at us with incredible surprise. Go ahead, he ingratiated himself with how long he wanted to play. This guy sold his brother directly and rushed to the bedroom as soon as he entered. I was still a little uncomfortable. Why didn't you tell me earlier that you were so eager to take care of me? If I told you, wouldn't it be disappointing for you? So it's still my pot master. I was wrong. I will never dare again. What else can I say? It seems that my little white flower has been successfully set up. My parents must know. I think they should be quite happy. By the way, why were you in my sister's ward that day? Miss Wu Jiagai booked the YRP ward of my hospital, and it was also right for me to visit. Did you know my sister before? No, then what are you doing? When you wait for something, let's get down to business first and talk about it later. Lu Rian Fanwai, when I was 6 years old, I was lost and picked up by an old man who lived next door to his family, surnamed Wu. When I was 14 years old, my family found me and picked me up overnight. On my birthday, my grandmother asked me what gift I wanted. I said I wanted the land, so my grandmother bought the whole street. Grandpa's son opened a noodle shop, and it tasted very good. Grandma said that my first task was to become a qualified heir. So before that, I couldn't find my childhood playmate, and I finally became a little director. Just as my girl moved into my hospital, I entered the ward and she was not there. My brother came back from school yesterday and should come to see him today. His brother did come. He said he was going to keep me. It was really interesting. Grandma let me marry. I have to hurry to bring him home. But their company is still too small. Fortunately, his sister's company needs investment. He didn't recognize me, Jane Jiang, but this is the best, otherwise others will think I opened the back door. The plan is very good and worth voting. But I didn't expect him to be playing too. His vest fell off. In order to make my little wolf dog happy, I started all kinds of disguise of maid stewardess. Hey, let me coax it. The full text is finished.